Hello teacups, what's broom? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. All of those lovely things. Thank you for all your concern on the last video about my tooth. Struggling with it a little bit more the last day or so. I'm quite tired, but I think it's because I've upped my melatonin to help me drop off right after I take my medicine. And that tends to leave me kind of groggy the next day, which is how I'm feeling right now. But I did get decent amount of sleep last night. I don't have a straw. There was a lot of concern about me using a straw in the last video. I wasn't told I couldn't use one by my dentist, but given the information people have given me, it doesn't hurt me not to use a straw, so I'll just leave it for now. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm still ice in my face. I'm still on all my meds. I'm still doing the thing. I still have not finished my report cards because something's got to give. It's actually not a big problem. It's just they're due in about a week, so I need to get a move on, and I was hoping to finish them early, but I just don't have the focus. So let's move on to Foodie, shall we? She sounds a bit more herself, shall we say, in this one. But yeah, let's get into the react and we can discuss that.
Hi guys, so here comes another unedited half-assed update.
You can hear the attitude of her even before she starts, can't you? Half-assed update. It is kind of half-assed. Like, you could put a picture in of yourself quite easily. She's not, and she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to update us all. I'm sure she would tell us. But, you know, if you're going to get attitude about the fact that you haven't tried very hard, then maybe consider trying harder.
Still sick.
Me too, fam.
But I'm generally okay. Like, I went to see a doctor and had more testing done, you know, urine, blood, blah, blah, blah. And, basically, you know, the antibiotic I was on was more like just a broad spectrum, basic one they prescribe.
I kind of feel like she's been on antibiotics a lot recently. Am I just making that up in my head? Maybe. Sometimes her timeline gets a bit funny. I was really concerned when I had this done because they had to give me antibiotics again, and I've literally just come off a batch for that viral infection I had, that cold that was going around school. And he was quite concerned about it. He was like, okay, how many days did you take it for, and what did you have, and all of that. Because I'm also allergic to certain antibiotics. Now, obviously, if the first set aren't working, she's going to need something else. But I don't know. I'd be more worried about forming resistances to antibiotics, especially given her conditions. And maybe she's just at a point where it's like, anything I can get, just give me. Which I would understand. When you're just not feeling well, you don't care as much. But she is going to need quite acute care from here on out, I believe. I think every little thing is going to become a big thing for her. And that's really just the state of her health. So I would really want to have conversations with these doctors.
First, if that doesn't work, they, you know, do more analysis of the blood and urine and stuff. And then they put me on I'm on different antibiotics. Sorry, I have a cough now. And different medications to...
The first time I listened to this, because I've listened to it once when I was kind of just waking up for the morning, but didn't get the full thing. And then I put it on again while I was getting ready to come on camera. I know she mentions UTI, but does she mention anything else in terms of the ear, the cough, the things? Because I feel like I might have missed it at some point.
For renal function and
oh, that was another thing I wanted to check, actually. I should have done more research before turning the camera on. I'm sorry. My question basically was, if she's already having like kidney problems, which there were signs that she had, then how do they treat UTIs if you've already got issues? So when she said medicine for renal function, I was like, oh, I wonder. So I'm just going to put a screenshot of this little Google I've just done, because there's no way I'm going to pronounce these medications correctly. But I don't think she mentions what medication she's on particularly. But I didn't know, and I suppose this is where my question is coming in, is it normal to have medication for renal function instead of just something to kill the infection? I mean, when you have like a UTI with no other issues. It's maybe a silly question. There might be too many variables to be able to answer that, but I'm not a medical professional, so there we go.
Medicine, what else? Something to make your like pee alkaline.
Yeah, and that, like, to make your pee alkaline. I'm assuming that's the UTI, but is that normal? Or is it just because her other conditions are already making her body particularly hospitable to these problems?
Paracetamol and a muscle relaxant, because I have this stabbing in my ear, which is the most annoying thing that I'm suffering is this pain in my ear. It's an earache. Oh my gosh. And I cannot stand earaches. As a kid, like, I used to get them all the time. And I just remember trying to sleep and my ear just like crackling and anyway.
I wonder how many things she's got at the moment, because the things she's telling us, some of them seem connected and some of them don't. And if it's just generally the body is infected with stuff, is it just settling in different areas? Like, it's interesting. It's interesting in a slightly horrific way, but with how widespread all her problems are, how one thing can lead to other things, or is she just straight up lying? Because, you know, rule one. The first rule of Chantal is that Chantal lies. Like, it makes it very hard, and I think purposefully, but makes it very hard to figure out what's going on all of the time.
So basically what the doctor said was, since, you know, I still had infection, was fighting infection, my immune system was weak.
And that's fair.
It is weak right now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it is weak all the time. It's dealing with a lot of stuff, even when she's otherwise, I want to say otherwise healthy, but I suppose she's never otherwise healthy. But even when she's not dealing with acute conditions, she's got chronic ones.
that lets in, you know, little viruses. Like
All right. So she's got multiple
That's
things.
where the earache and the cough and the dry cough comes from.
Okay, so she might have some kind of virus, some kind of something, plus the UTI. So what, working in a school, we are constantly like a vector of transmission. I sympathize when multiple things hit you at once, like you feel like you're just getting over something and then bam. Happened to me, I want to say earlier this year. Like, I was just getting over quite a big cold, and then a couple of days after I was starting to feel better, something else hit me. And sometimes that is just the way of it, but she isolates so much. I'm surprised she gets exposed to so much. And with that surprise, the automatic thought is, well, she's probably lying. And then you've got to go on to the idea, well, how much is she purposefully lying? How much is it her natural state? And how much is she trying to protect her own thoughts? Because just lying there thinking, oh, all these things are wrong with me and everything's just breaking down must also be terrifying. How much is she lying to us? How much is she protecting herself? And how much is it just a mix?
Which is the short of breath that you're hearing.
Shortness of breath has been with you for a long time.
Which, yeah, it's, I'm on like some kind of cough medicine for that. So that, and I've just been sleeping, trying to recover. I mean, I guess I don't even know why I'm on here updating you guys. You have it all figured out. You know, I just...
The attitude. Number one, she relies on the rumors. Yeah, she relies on the rumors to keep her relevant. But number two, the attitude. Yeah. You came up with a black screen saying, I'm so weak and so ill, I can't give you a proper update, but this is what I've got. And what was not expecting there to be speculation. Extreme speculation, given all your other health results, given that, was it the last time she was on camera or a recent time on camera? She was like, I feel like my health is crumbling. And this is why I was so incredulous when she was in her last video saying, you know, I hate it when people say I'm helpless. I hate it when people say this, that, and the other. No, you feed it. You're feeding it like you're feeding it now because it gives you something to talk about. Because what else is she going to talk about? Let's look at the content she could do. If she could leave the house, she could do content outside. I don't believe she's well enough to leave the house at the moment, other than obviously going to the hospital. She seems to be in a bad way, whatever's causing it, right? So she's not going to do outdoor content, and her indoor content is eating, which she's also claiming she's not doing at the moment. So she doesn't have any content but this.
had to turn off comments. It's so overwhelming. It's like, okay, I have to remind people, you know, nicely, I guess.
Nicely, I guess. I mean, is this nice? I wouldn't say so. I'd say this is full of attitude.
Not doctors. You're not, you know, even if you are a doctor, you're not a doctor has me as a patient.
You're absolutely right. I'm neither doctor nor your doctor. And even those who are listening to you with some medical knowledge are not your doctor. But there's a reason that medicine as a science exists. And things can be true even if they haven't actually looked at you. Based on description, we can diagnose. That's how people get diagnosed over the phone or over a video conference. You describe what's going on and they make a guess based on their skills. Now, if you're lying and not giving all the information, then yes, things are going to happen. People get misdiagnosed all the time. But once again, you are bringing this to the internet. No need to get mad about it.
So unless you've examined me and taken my blood and everything else.
There are thousands of telehealth, of online appointments, of telephone consultations to help save time and resources these days, that being able to go in and describe what's going on isn't always the case. Now, she's a complicated case, but people can still speculate. And even if none of that were true, she has brought this to the internet. We can speculate just to gossip.
You have the knowledge you have of what I'm suffering from is diddly squat. I have people...
The knowledge we have is what you've given us. What do you want from us? It's gossip. It's not knowledge, it's gossip. Based on information you've put out.
SOS reaching out to me that it's diabetic ketoacidosis, which it's not.
How do you know?
It's also not Camel related. It's not Camel related.
Someone put something out. Apparently someone on the farm said camel pox. Specifically, I'm guessing because she said nose lesions, which people were then in my comments. This is how you know, rumors go around, right? And she said nose lesions, and people said, oh, that's a sign of camel pox, because she had just put that she'd been spit in the face by a camel. So when she says people don't know, will that end up being wrong? Potentially yes, but there is reason to speculate on it because of the stuff she put out. That's a perfect example. And this is just showing us that all she has done with her limited energy over the last however long has been to look through the rumors going through the internet and seething. Dude, make a video, at least make some money on it.
So, you know, for people to be commenting you're stupid, you went near a camel, blah, blah, blah. The doctor even laughed at that. And I even, brought up the MERS.
So you took it seriously enough to ask a doctor, but we're stupid for suggesting it? If you asked, you were not sure. And it is stupid to go up to any animal that you are not familiar with. But don't you sit there and tell people that they're stupid for speculating when you didn't even know yourself. You think it's stupid because the doctor laughed at you.
Okay, and you have to remember, in between the one time I got sick, which was coincidental, because I had just traveled and I had gotten sick. I've been to see camels many, many times. I've kissed camels, I've hugged camels, this and that. So it's...
This and that. Yeah, you asked the doctor though. If you were so sure, why did you ask the doctor?
Not camel related illness.
You now know.
It's just basically a nasty, urine infection, UTI.
All right.
Or kidney infection that will not, that was resistant to the first antibiotics.
Yeah, not a cause for concern at all.
So hopefully these ones, it will work. If I still am not well, in a few days, then I was advised to go to the hospital again. So, yeah. And, I know I sound sassy, but I'm 100% being sassy.
People use sassy to cover a multitude of sins. You sound like a bitch. I'm not using it interchangeably. Sassy is a little bit endearing, I find, in some ways, but no, you put out this concern, you tried to milk it for sympathy. When you got answers you didn't want, you turned off your comments, and now you're giving people shit about it. That's not sass.
Because I find some theories are so stupid that they pollute my brain even more, and I'm not going to get better if I look at them. So,
and yet we're here, and yet I would bet actual money on the fact that all you've been doing the last few days is looking at them. Otherwise, how would you be so well informed?
I have to turn the comments off. I'm sorry. For those of you who wish me well and were worried about me, I appreciate it. A lot of people reached out to me. I cannot answer everybody because I'm not well.
Okay, so it's not people sending you information because you're too exhausted. It's you finding it online.
So I guess just wait for these little updates. I appreciate you being worried, but I just need to rest and not, I've just hardly been on my phone, honestly.
But you know all the rumors enough to ask a question to the doctor about them.
I get all cozy and just listen to, little horror stories to fall asleep to. But
she is a little horror story.
Beyond that, I can't. I hate the internet and it's poison. And
you're poison, guys. You are poison. I'm going to sit here, listen to my horror stories to lull me to sleep and tell you you're poison.
I don't need any more poison. So, you laugh, but you would be surprised at
I do laugh.
Bad. It's so true. What you watch and you pollute your mind with will definitely have an impact.
Okay, so enjoy those horror stories, yeah? What you allow to circle your mind will probably do that to you. Here's the thing, and the thing she's never learned is, okay, so let it go. I'm fine with her turning the comments off. She can lie about it and say, oh, yeah, I just couldn't. It was so dumb. I just couldn't. The reason it's impacting her is because it keeps swirling in her mind, and that's always been the reason. She's never had a switch off button, even when comments have been off. Because you can guarantee not having comments means she's just trawling the internet looking for comments. She can't help herself in that regard. And this isn't new information. She's been online for how many years? She's been earning her wages online for how many years? You have to have your own off button. And I don't just mean the one diabetes is giving you.
Impact on how you feel physically. So I'm just trying to watch serene things and things
like horror.
For the time being. And I haven't been really looking at messages people were sending me because I know excuse me, I just don't have the energy to
Okay. Again, hasn't been looking at the message people sent her. Comments are off. So the only way she could know what people are saying is if she went looking.
Reply to everybody. So that's why these general updates, So I think I'm just gonna rest a bit and hopefully be back to making content soon.
I'm guessing soon is after Mr. Snowflake has given his part 3 of his documentary to the internet, to the world. That was a weird way to say it, but I committed to the sentence. I don't know what to tell you. Last time she was able to kind of weather it, even though it was pretty bad, because she was taking a break from the internet. Involuntarily, but nevertheless. And I think, even though I think the illness is taking a part in it, I think she'd be working harder to earn more money if that wasn't also upcoming. So I think she's keeping an eye out and hoping that she can just kind of skip out on this one as well.
Well, I don't know why people think the world ends anytime I'm sick.
We don't think the world ends, we think you're dead. That's really harsh and very blunt, but what she doesn't seem to realize is that every little thing she has, as I said, is a big thing. So when she disappears, you think we trust Salah to tell us that you're gone? No. We assume something has happened. Either you've had to leave the country, or you're really sick in hospital somewhere, or you're dead. Doesn't mean we're waiting for it with bated breath, but it means it's a thought in our process, because it has to be because of the state you're in.
I get sick. I'm not in the best of health, but like, why jump the gun? You don't know. You don't know, you know? So...
You're right, we don't.
And I will never, ever, ever, ever mistreat my body again. And so far, I haven't.
Well, doesn't that sound convincing? I'll never do it again, and so far, I haven't. Except she's about to say something that makes me think she has. But there we go.
And so far...
I'm... Let's listen.
Down a lot of weight.
Not the point. At this point, yes, you're probably not eating as much. I would be highly concerned at massive weight loss while you're trying to heal from something that sounds pretty serious and are also dealing with diabetes. Like, any massive change in that regard is concerning.
A lot of weight. I started eating more regular food now. But healthy stuff.
Classify healthy for me, but we'll get into that later.
And like whole foods. Mostly anyway.
Mostly anyway. And that is why I don't believe this. That and just history and general ability to learn. But mostly anyway. If you have to qualify in the middle of this scolding you're giving us, you are going to lose the plot so quickly. Your next video is going to be like a chicken match boost mukbang.
But my appetite at least is back without the nausea. And yeah, I vowed to never take my health for granted.
Mostly.
You know, I realize finally how dangerous diabetes is. I don't know why I never thought it was so, dangerous. I think it's just always, always think that you have more time until you don't.
She recently did a video telling us she felt like her health was crumbling. So we thought she was already at this realization. Again, health arc, new set of people coming in, give me more sympathy, but don't give me too much sympathy, because how dare you think about my medical possibilities here? How dare you speculate? You don't know anything if it's not directly from me, but I'm a known liar and therefore cannot be trusted. I was going somewhere with that, but it all just kind of came out. But it is kind of ridiculous that she's like, oh, I didn't realize it was serious. Now, the only thing I could say on the topic would be she has got a very, doesn't seem like it considering the state she lives in, but she's been very resilient so far to recovering from things that you would expect to be more serious. I've called her a cockroach before, not necessarily to insult her, but just to say she has that ability to survive. But it does seem to be failing her at the moment.
Well, I was a fool, but I will not be ever again, so...
Okay, timestamp it, because I've got a feeling that's going in the age like milk folder.
Believe what you want, it's no skin off my ass.
She could have very easily just not have done that. Not have had that sentence in there. But no, because she's mad. She's mad at the internet again. It's no skin off my ass. Okay, that's fine. I'm not the one in hospital, darling. I'm not the one dealing with this. The one thing she's right about here is it actually doesn't matter what I or anybody else thinks. It matters what she survives. But from historical reference, when you're saying, oh yes, I'm healthy, mostly. Oh, I'm never going to do this again. The grandiose statements never work out well for her. And I wish they would one day. I wish one day she'd reach the point where she was like, nope, gotta change. I don't think she will. And I've said that before. Fingers crossed she does, but I don't think she will.
I'm in a really bitchy, sassy mood today.
Bitchy, not sassy, but go ahead.
And I'm just rolling my eyes. I had to turn my comments off because I'm just like...
Oh, it's because they were making you angry. Too much truth, not enough sympathy.
The things, I don't know. And the things I see are just so dumb. Okay,
the things you see that you go searching for because you're not opening anyone else's messages, Those things, just checking.
Oh, and by the way,
You got the energy for that?
Hear it from me. It's probably not true, okay? I know
Bullshit.
you like to believe things. I know people like to believe the worst.
People do like to believe the worst because speculation is like that. And sometimes it's not even that people believe it. It's a case of, oh my goodness, did you hear this? Oh, this is going on there. Could you imagine if that impacted her? Oh my God, like all this stuff that's happening in Kuwait right now. Basically, I'm going to be a little careful about how I phrase this, but essentially, the government in Kuwait was, I want to say dissolved, but the new emir of Kuwait has decided to make some pretty big changes on the government level and has taken control to implement those changes. And that's why you're seeing a lot of the crackdowns on illegal immigration or people who are there with their status not matching the reason they're saying they're there because they either haven't converted their job or they came under false pretenses or what have you. And there's an amnesty on right now saying, okay, leave by this date and we will not fine you and we will not stop you, but leave. Now, does this impact Foodie? Not necessarily for the reasons you're thinking. If she's there on a tourist visa, her tourist visa is valid. Now, if they catch her living in a house that she's not registered to, and they'd have to catch her to do it, could it cause her trouble? Potentially. What's currently going on with the tourist visas in general? People were asking me about visit visas now being 30 days. Some visit visas were always 30 days, so it really just does depend. Again, I've been kind of sick, I've been kind of in pain, I haven't researched a lot, but I'm just going by a little bit of news here. Will this impact her ability to get another tourist visa after? We don't know. We know what they're cracking down on now. We know why they're cracking down on it. And we don't know how this is going to impact her in the future. And she's about to go on to this, I do believe, when she says, I didn't have to leave Kuwait. Why are people being so ridiculous? Because there are actual things going on in the political stage that I don't think she's aware of, that she should be. Because it's not always massive global events that impact what's going on in the country you're in.
And are waiting for me to die, which makes you a sick individual, but it's not going to happen.
I feel like she's waiting for herself to die at this point. I know I keep stopping.
So, yeah. Also, I don't have to leave Kuwait. Like,
Yeah,
why do I have to leave Kuwait? I've heard a few people say that. Why would I have to leave Kuwait just because of my health?
Your health is an issue, so you could get better access to healthcare, so you could work with someone who had more access to your history, because she doesn't seem to think honesty is important, but when it comes to treating you, it kind of is. And because, as I say, a lot of crackdowns are happening, and it's not unrealistic to say that, well, okay, this is the first step, so what's the second step going to be? If currently they're saying, okay, we're cracking down on illegal immigration, which might not entirely apply to Chantal on paper, the next step might be, okay, well, unless you're under these visas, we're not providing you with X, you have to have your health insurance. Or, you don't know what changes are being made right now. And that's something you have to be aware of in any country for any reason. It's something I keep an eye on in any country I'm in, even though I'm here legally, because things can change and can change suddenly. And as an expat, you have to be aware of that. And as a tourist, it's not even like she's coming in with a skill they need or they want. She's just there, and it's much easier to remove her.
They have some of the best health facilities here.
But they don't want to share them with you. They don't want to share them with you. They want their citizens to have the best health facilities.
And just some of it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just really.
If you were smarter, it would. If you were more capable of rational thought, if you were more capable of critical analysis, it would make more sense.
When my next update will be, I'm taking a break from the effing internet because it's just so stupid.
Okay. And until what? A few days after the snowflake stuff has blown over? Around then? When? Now, payday was literally within the last couple of days, so she can afford to have this attitude at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see how it changes the less money she's got.
It really is toxic. So toxic. I hate it. And, yeah. You're lucky I love you guys, because otherwise I'd probably be long gone.
You're lucky I love you. Look what you make me do. Who the hell does she think she's kidding?
from this stupid, toxic environment.
Okay, do that.
But
go on. Do it. Turn off, never come back. If we're stupid and we're toxic and you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Figure out the rest of your life instead. But you won't, because this is the easiest thing for you to do.
But anyway, especially sick, you have to just be positive and
yeah, here we are.
You know, stay away from stupid things. So yeah, other than that, I'm actually feeling a bit better, so already. So inshallah,
I can tell you're in a wonderful mood.
With my medicine and prayer and taking good care of my body, I hope that I'll be on the mend very soon and I'll be able to see you guys again soon. Hopefully I can do an update next time on a live stream or something. But yeah, just wait for an update from me, because really, I'm the only one who saw a doctor. I'm the only one who knows the truth.
I will be here for the next update because I'm interested. Of course I'll be here for the next update, but I will speculate as much as I want in the meantime, and she can't control that.
What I'm taking, you know, nobody else knows anything. Like, even if you were diabetic and you had this and these symptoms, that's nice, but it doesn't mean that that's
nice.
what happened to me, okay? So
no, it doesn't, but it means that other people out there have knowledge that may impact your situation, and whether it's happening to you or not, it becomes a possibility in your situation, which is something to talk about.
Yeah, you don't have to freak out. I'm okay.
Just care about it less, guys.
I'm not getting kicked out of Kuwait.
At the moment. I do wonder, I haven't checked, but I do wonder, like, she was due to need another tourist visa end of July, right? I wonder what the situation's going to be when that time comes.
What's another stupid thing?
Or was it end of June?
Just whatever you hear stupid, if it makes you go, then just, it's dumb and don't listen, okay?
Yeah, just listen to her. She's reliable.
Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Okay, and there we are. And as always, Chantal is the only source for truth. She is known for that, isn't she? But I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to get this edited and up. And again, you can come to your own conclusions because you are allowed to discuss them. And it's okay if you read something and go, oh, that sounds silly, but oh my God, could you imagine? Because that's half the fun of watching anybody. It's the water cooler speculation you get with any TV show. Chantal knows it. She's just mad that she can't control it. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. And I will see you for whatever the next narrative is. Bye-bye.